everybody, it's time for chapter 7. We have a guest reader tonight. I'm not going to tell you who it is till you see her. Okay, so we finished with chapter 6 when Janny really wants to go to the bank and get her, so she can get her driver's license, but she needs a birth certificate. So here we go, chapter 7. She came home to an empty house. Mondays were hospital volunteer days for her mother. Her father would be coaching at the middle school until dark. When did the bank close? Janny went into her mother's study. She had a vague idea of finding the key to the safe deposit box and going to the bank herself. I can't stop smiling at my guest reader. Look the other way. Okay. The desk had 2 deep file drawers. The upper one was crammed with volunteer-related materials. All of her mother's committees, boards, and causes. Girl Scouts, that was ancient history. Hospital volunteers, literacy volunteers, nature conservatory board. Janny had never heard of this one. Parent-teacher association. In alphabetical order, the files went on and on. There was something very reassuring about those files. Paper memories of meetings, fundraisers, and suburban routines that made the world a better place to live in. The frightening daymares of last week had not come back. Janny was more irritated than anything else, wanting to set aside the milk carton idea. Driver's licenses and passports were much more greater importance. If she could just see the birth certificate, she could extradite herself from this dumb idea. In the bottom drawer would be files marked bills, income tax, insurance forms. The bottom drawer was locked. She found the lock strangely frightening. Her mother did not lock up jewelry, nor silver. So why lock a file drawer? What robber would care about her last year's bills? No key was mixed in the pile of paper clips and index tabs lying in the shallow pencil drawer. Upstairs, Janny changed into old jeans and a sweatshirt. She found herself checking corners of her room for reassurance. Yes, her t-shirt collection was intact. Yes, her bumper sticker collection was still in its shoebox. Yes, her Barbie doll still lay silent in the carrying case in the back of the closet. I should put them all in the attic, she thought. They're clutter. I want my room to be more streamlined than it is. The attic. Boxes and trunks. Whenever they went up the dark stairs for things like Christmas decorations, Janny would ask what was in those boxes, gathering dust in the corners. Junk, her mother always replied. Someday we'll toss it. Now it occurred to Janny that her mother, everybody's favorite chairwoman, was supremely organized. If she had intended to toss it, or if it were really junk, it would have never gone to the attic. She would have donated it to the Salvation Army. Janny opened the door to the attic stairs. Cold drafts like winter coming sifted down her face like dust. The roof creaked. She climbed the stairs. I've never been up here alone, she thought suddenly. If I ever needed my old Halloween costumes or last year's winter boots, Mom went up for them. At the bottom of the stairs, the draft made the door shut. Janny whirled when it slammed. Her heart was pounding. She crept down the stairs, in case it was an intruder. Of course it was nothing. Putting books on each side of the door to hold it open, she went back up. The attic was The attic was poorly lit. The previous owners had remodeled the kitchen, dining room, and bathrooms, but nobody had done anything up here, not even dust. The attic felt as old as time. Eaves ran down toward the floor and made dark corners. On most boxes, her mother's neat handwriting spelled out the contents. J, handmade sweaters. It is F. Janny smiled and opened the door. The 6 scent of mothballs filled the attic. The 6 scent, I've already read that. Child sizes long outgrown. The sweaters reeked of memory as well as mothballs. I'm never having a guest reader again. A Christmas sweater, cream and green, brought back 3rd grade in a rush of sound and color. Are you ready for your guest reader? This is going to be the best day of your life. 6 feet apart. Here comes Miss Masterson.
When I start?
Okay.
Hi, guys! Oh, hold on. I'm new to this, so don't, That Christmas, they'd gone to Disney World. She needed the sweater. It was cold in Orlando that year. She remembered sitting in a whirling teacup with her parents, clinging to her father's chest, shrieking in delight and dizziness. Sorry, guys. Billy Wadler, a big mean 4th grader, had teased her mercilessly all January about wearing a Christmas tree sweater. I love Christmas tree sweaters personally. Billy Wilder had grown up into a really terrific guy. He took out his aggressions in sports now and was nice to girls. Sarah Charlotte had always yearned for Billy. Janie smiled and closed the cardboard box. It was hard to interfold the 4 cardboard pieces as neatly as her mother had done. She coughed from the mothballs. Excuse me. The next box said, F, ski boots. Her father, Frank. She hadn't known her father skied. Maybe they do that this winter. She'd asked. She'd wonder why he'd given it up. Too expensive? Too dangerous? The whole quest was beginning to feel quite silly. I hope that I don't burn the book on fire. Let me move it out the way, y'all. No, I don't know where I left off. Oh. What a good thing. She had not explained anything to Sarah.
Sorry, guys.
To share. Sarah. Okay, wait, hold on. It says low battery.
It's okay.
Okay.
Keep going.
Alright, but back, stop making me laugh.
Walk away.
And guys, I broke it down. Sarah Charlotte nor asked anything of her mother. Up against the very back, hidden by 2 neatly stacked rows of cardboard boxes, old jigsaw puzzles, and fishing equipment, the black trunk had been pushed. She remembered the fishing equipment birthday. Her father had gone out twice, but he was not the fisherman type. He disliked solitary sports. How disappointed he had been when his only daughter preferred a social life to soccer. She was smiling when she reached the black trunk. Probably my baby clothes, she thought. If Mom saved all my sweaters, I bet she saved all my baby clothes. It was such a nice thought. Janie could hardly wait to see them. Eensy sweet smock things she loved to look at in stores. The trunk was big and cheap, the sort you bought from Sears or Montgomery Ward. Metal trim now tarnished. It was locked. A label was taped to the top. A single letter was written on it. H. Who was H? Her mother was Miranda. Her father, Frank. She was Jane. None of the 4 grandparents had been an H either. An old Christmas tree holder, 3 splayed feet, and a cup for the trunk lay gathering cobwebs. Janie wedged its metal foot behind the long, narrow lock plate of the trunk and yanked. The lock broke. How old it must be, thought Janie. It's rusted through. She lifted the heavy lid carefully, tilting it back against the wall. The trunk was filled with papers and photographs. She was immediately bored. Old school reports, old term papers, old fill-in-the-blanks, maps and quizzes. Someone named Hannah. She never heard of anyone named Hannah. How could an unknown Hannah merit this stack of attention? Janie felt irritable and coughed again from the dust and the mothballs. Beneath a 6th grade report on the beginning of mankind and a sheaf of mimeographed maps where Hannah had wrongly penciled in Germany on France was a school photograph. Janie recognized the cardboard folder immediately. The kind that offered her parents 6 different purchase agreements, so many wallet sizes, and so many 8x10s. She flipped open to see what Hannah looked like. A pretty girl, perhaps 12 or 13. Looked back at her. Sweet, blonde, mild. What was like Christmas costume? The kind Sarah Charlotte would refer to as a used rag doll. Not much stuffing in that one, Sarah Charlotte liked to say of girls who were short on personality. The dust was annoying Janie's lungs. It would be the pits if it turned out she had a dust allergy along with a milk allergy. How would she survive in this world if everything made her choke and cough? From behind all the papers, a little piece of fabric stuck up. White cloth. Tiny dark polka dots. With hands of ice, Janie plucked at the material, shifting the layers of school papers until she could pull it up. It was the dress on the milk carton.
Who is Hannah? Till next time.
Bye, guys!
Bye!